The Warriors desperately needed this one. On a bad losing streak and with Draymond Green suspended indefinitely, Golden State faced off against a decent Brooklyn Nets team. Steph Curry carried the team like always with 37 points, and I want to break down his magical performance against a good defender in Mikal Bridges, so let's get to it. With Brooklyn rushing out to a small lead, Steve Kerr adjusted to have Kuminga start in the absence of Green. Here on the weak side, we have Steph reading the defense of Claxton in a drop, so the counter to this is to run an off-ball action involving Looney to free him up from Mikal Bridges. Brooklyn was game planning to not switch off-ball picks, so Steph knows to exploit Claxton's position and creates an opening. Late closeout, and this is an easy catch and shoot for Curry. Let's run a similar action knowing the same coverage. Looney comes for the pin down, and notice Mikal Bridges' position here, grabbing Steph and trailing his body. So the correct read is to use the screen to try and curl, knowing once again Looney's defensive coverage and Claxton is in a drop. Great screen by Looney frees up Steph again on the curl, and he uses a one dribble pull-up from mid-range. At the end of the first half, we always see Golden State run this play in which a Splash Brother sets a go screen for the on-ball player, trying to catch the defense off guard with the on-ball switch. Royce O'Neal does a good job predicting this, but Steph counters by catching O'Neal off balance and attacks off the catch. With dribble penetration, Sharp has to rotate as the weak side low man, and because Klay is still a shooter these days on the scouting report, Dinwiddie is not in the best position to help on Looney. Easy dump off pass by Steph for a dunk. This is another classic out-of-bounds Warriors play to try and read the defense. The first action is a back pick on the inbounder's man to try and get Wiggins an open layup under the hoop, but because O'Neal does a great job fighting over, Brooklyn does not have to switch, and instead Mikal Bridges is still focused on Steph. This next action is the exit screen off of Sharge, and once again the Nets are not switching off-ball picks, so Bridges screws up by initially trying to cheat the screen, then fight around, but this is all Steph needs for a decently tough one dribble pull-up three going to his right. And with, of course, Golden State always choking leads, the next few plays are actually great reads off of defenders' position angles for Steph Curry. On a high screen and roll, Sharge brings a poor defender in Watford out to the perimeter to try to get Steph off of Bridges. Brooklyn chooses to switch on-ball picks, but Watford gives a poor angle and tries too hard to shoot towards the sideline, so the simple counter to this is for Curry to cross over and split the screen to get dribble penetration. Not really his rotation, but Royce O'Neal honestly rotates smartly, even off the strong side corner off a non-shooter in Wiggins, but it's too late as Steph gets to the basket for an easy layup. Getting a good defender Mikal Bridges off of him was the goal, and these switches were simply too easy. We have a double screen with Looney and Pajensky with the intention of getting a worse defender in Cam Thomas to switch. With the right matchup, Golden State lets Curry isolate on Thomas, who I'm not sure why angles his body to let Steph attack towards a strong right hand. Maybe he's trying to force him towards help, but this is too easy as Steph dribbles into his favorite sidestep towards his right three-pointer. Golden State also loves running the chase action with Steph on ball. This usually involves an on-ball shooter countering a double team by throwing it out first and immediately chasing the ball for a handoff action. This will leave his original defenders behind as they struggle to process that initial pass, and by the time they realize, Steph is already attacking off the catch. Even though Brooklyn plays great defense here in a triple team, credit Steph for making this super tough bank runner that would have otherwise been labeled as a terrible shot, but it's a make or miss league. There you guys have it. I wanted to break down a short but magnificent performance as Steph Curry countered Mikal Bridges' defense on his way towards 37 important points. With Draymond Green out for therapy and the rest of the starters playing like ass, Curry broke their losing streak by getting open in off-ball actions and making correct reads off of screens to get any defender but Bridges to match up against. It was by far a smart move to attack weaker and smaller defenders, and the Curry flurry in the fourth quarter was the key factor in the win. Now let's build off this momentum and hope for a good win in tonight's back-to-back. If you guys like this breakdown, like and subscribe to see more.